It doesn't get any easier than this. It really doesn't. Totally free and takes about, 15 or 20 seconds of your time. See if you can identify the contents of this container. If you've seen anything that looks like this before. That's the bottom. There's the side. And not a very good view. There's the top. I'll give you another hint. Let me lift it up a little. Can't get it in the spoon. Now do you recognize it? It looks kind of gross, doesn't it? Looks pretty gross. See all those little tan colored things in there? This container holds about 300 pieces of fruit, depending on how you look at it. And it came from something that looked a lot like this. This is actually, I was gonna save it to show, you what it looked like, but I ate it. This is only about 1/4 of the melon that we bought Saturday. My, oh my, was it good. Cold, fresh, sweet, right? They had just picked them at the farmer's place that we always go every year. And so I just, I cut them from the stem end to the blossom end, I guess you call it, the two marks on the melon. I cut them from top to bottom that way. And then just cut, you can tell by the way that this is shaped. Cut it from this end here to this end here. So you end up with a wedge about like yay. And then just take the knife and glide the knife along just inside the skin, and you end up with a beautiful piece of melon. Cut it into chunks, and heaven doesn't get any closer or better than that. I'm going to show you one more time what this goop looks like, because I'm going to tell you what I want you to do with it. Let's see. You can even hear it. Looks really disgusting. Maybe you can see it better in the bowl. Anyway, you know what the inside of a melon looks like. I'm getting kind of silly, but the point I was trying to get across is that this, let me do it one more time, this goopy soupy mixture, there, well, that's a good shot. You can see all those seeds in the goop. Now, it's not necessary to sit there and pick out these. It's not necessary to sit there and pick out these seeds one at a time. It would be a tedious and thankless job. But what I'm going to ask you to do, please, pretty please, it's free and it doesn't take any time, is if you're eating melon or green pepper or anything that has a mature seed, well, a green pepper, I'm not even sure. A green pepper, I think you need to let it turn red. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think you need to let a green pepper turn red and get fully ripe and then harvest the seeds from it. Somebody help me out there. But anyway, at any rate, if you have fruits like melon of any type or sort, they might be grown from a hybrid seed, so you may not get the same quality. Somebody correct me there as to what you get when you plant a hybrid seed. I think you still get something. I think you still get fruit, but especially if they're not hybridized, and I will ask the farmer next time I go. Each one of these seeds will grow a plant that will probably produce more than one melon, and I know there's more than 100 seeds in there, so this represents more than 300 melons. If you will just please scoop out the goop and put it in a container like this with a lid, or even without a lid, or put it in a little Ziploc bag or a little sandwich bag or even a bread bag if that's all you have, and toss it in your freezer, or you could lay it out. I could spread this all out on a cookie sheet and let it dry for several days. You don't want to dry it in an oven. Don't want to put it on 200 degrees. That's not a good idea. I'm sorry I'm making this crazy long. It's supposed to be simple. Just save the goop from your melons and throw it in your freezer, please, for a few melons. If you had a baggie that was that deep with melon goop, and you just kept throwing it in there, you know, pull it out of the freezer, open it up, throw your melon goop in, and keep doing that. And you had, you know, 6 inches deep in the bottom of your bag. My hands are sticky now, of melon goop. Then comes spring, if you were wanting to plant it, or if you were in need, if the need arose, you could just take a little bit of this goop and drop it just like it is. Just take a little, just take a little bit, seeds and all, goop and all, and toss it in the dirt. Put a little earth, a little dirt over top of it, maybe yay deep. It's supposed to be about 4 times deeper than the size of the seed. The bigger the seed, the deeper it goes. So these could use maybe 1/2 inch of earth on top. And you could have a lot of melons. And if you were needing a lot of melons, that would be a good thing to have. These melons are magnificent. I think if the quality wasn't quite the same and you were in need of fruit to be healthy, and for whatever reason couldn't get it and could grow it, you'd be very thankful to have the melons, even if they weren't quite exactly the same as the ones before. But somebody helped me out with the hybrid thing. Okay, this is like 3 times longer than I wanted it to be, and I apologize. It's free, it's convenient, it doesn't take any effort. If you never use the seeds, you're not out anything. You have the security of knowing that you could grow melons. And everything that grows on a vine, a cucumber, a pumpkin, a winter squash, summer squash don't really grow the same way, I don't think, but a winter squash, a cucumber, melons, watermelons, cantaloupe. Can't think what else grows on a vine right this second. But it really doesn't require garden space per se. It requires space, but not necessarily garden space. You could take a area this big, about the size of a softball, and pull the sod up and put 3 or 4 or 5 of these seeds in there, a few inches apart. And if you could just have that much ground, and it wasn't grass that had to be mowed, you know, it was out away from a building or something, these could vine all over the place and require very little space to grow. We used to take the plastic top of a fountain soda. You could use practically anything that has holes in it, and slide it underneath the melons so that the melons are not in direct contact with the soil, and then they sometimes get little bugs and worms and things that penetrate the skin of the melon, and then you have spoiled melons. This is 8 minutes. I'm not happy with that. I had other things to say, but it's not going to be in this video because it needs to be shorter. So if all you can do, I'm always saying that. Sorry, my voice is not good today. If all you can do today is save the seeds from your melon, it could make a huge difference in the days to come. You could have 300. I guarantee you, from this I could have 300 melons. Guarantee you, I could have 300 melons under the right circumstances. So you don't have to separate the goop. Just freeze it. It freezes in the winter. If it was left in the garden, it would freeze in the winter. The plants would come up of their own accord in the spring. They don't have to be started ahead of time. You can plant them right in the garden. In fact, they're a little bit difficult to transplant from what I understand. I have not transplanted them before. That's the end of this. I gotta go wash this goop off my hands. I still got a seed right here. God bless your efforts to prepare. Make a list and check it twice. Save that goop. It could be turned into something nice. Bye.